G'day all, welcome back to another Star Citizen video, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for visiting. So today we're going to be going and exploring the new, what would you call it? Salvaging? Salvaging 0.5, or the first iteration of actually removing components from ships. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and hunt down a bounty. This one happens to be around the asteroids of Yella. Hopefully we'll get a soft death. If we can get a soft death, then we can harvest parts off of that ship, chuck them at the back of our MISC Freelancer that we're in today, and be able to go and sell them off at Port Olisar. Obviously, this is the kind of mission that needs to be done in space. Anything that is atmosphere bound, obviously the ship is going to crash into the planet and will be destroyed, and you cannot at this stage get parts from a hard death ship like that. So we've got to go for soft death in order to be able to take parts off of them. We're going to get this bounty. It's a very low risk bounty, so it shouldn't be too hard for us to achieve. A bit of a bug there where my weapons weren't recharging. There are a few small issues with 3.19, but overall it's been a pretty smooth experience for me so far. You're going to have to excuse my bit of a nasally voice. I'm getting over a cold. We're just cruising along here. I have actually bought myself a joystick and throttle, a proper one. Not super expensive, but it certainly does make the whole dogfighting experience a little bit nicer. A little bit more granular control over the ship. Don't worry about that major torque imbalance. I'm not sure why that's there. Target should be on the other side of this asteroid here, hopefully. Likely going to have some friends. Yeah, at least one friend. So what do we got here? What are we looking at? We've got an Eclipse, probably an Eclipse and an M50 or something similar. And the Eclipse isn't a great ship to be working with here. The wings do tend to blow off a bit, which makes them harder to harvest. I shouldn't say harvest, salvage. Yeah, so the Eclipse is the body. Let's take out the Eclipse first. Get a little bit closer first. Be able to take him out. There we go, now we're in weapons range. Down. So that was a hard death, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get this guy with a soft death. Let's see. Another Eclipse. Nice. So now you can see the benefits of having a slightly chunkier ship and slightly chunkier shields. I just took everything he had to throw at me then. Ah, crap. Alright, hard death. That didn't work. So, let's get another bounty. Try again. So yeah, back to the joystick. I like the throttle. All the controls are within very easy reach on this throttle, so I can increase and decrease my velocity really easily. I mean, the joystick, you got the hat switch to go up, down, left and right, twist, move your left to right, and obviously also it's actually quite nice. It's a nice looking, feeling joystick. So I never thought it'd make that much of a difference. Another hard death. Yep, just lost something, then that's not good. And another hard death. Gah. Talk about frustrating. Alright, on to the next bounty. Alright, finally, we got a soft death. We got something we can actually steal some parts from and go and sell. So that's what we're going to do here. This is an Aegis Gladius. So this thing typically has 2 M4A cannons, a Scorpion Gatling cannon, and I think about 10 missiles. It's actually a really, really well-armed ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to get as close as we can. We're going to try and get the Freelancer's rear end to line up as much as possible with where the ship is. That's what I'm doing here. Just make transporting the hijacked goods. I won't say hijacked, salvaged goods into my hold. Yeah, what I didn't show in the last video about this sort of stuff is that you can actually steal components from ships again. Yeah, so here we're going into EVA. There's the Gladius. We're going to take the weapons off first because they're the easiest things to take off. You would have noticed just then as I was taking that weapon off, there was a little circle with an arrow in it, and that arrow indicates the direction you need to be moving your mouse in order to get that weapon to detach properly. I think there was an addition in the latest patch. The first video I did on salvage didn't show any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, here we are stripping the weapons. This thing I think fired some missiles at me, so I don't get to take all of them. You can also see the UI there telling me that stuff is occupied. Now that's just if you were to try and attach something to your ship. It's a bit of a tooltip to say, hey, you can't attach that here. I'm struggling a bit to select the right missile. I need to be a bit closer. Yeah, there we go. Now we got it off. Now these missiles aren't worth a whole hell of a lot, but I'm obviously just doing this to show you guys what it all looks like. So here's the other 4 missiles, and you can see that arrow circle with the arrow a little bit clearer at that point. That's all 4 missiles off. Now what I'm going to go do is see if I can find out where the components are. I have done this once or twice on the Gladius, so I've got a rough idea where they are. One thing to note is there are certain areas that you can't, I won't say areas, certain items you cannot take out of the ship. And that's, I think, due to the weight. And what's coming later is bigger tractor beam attachments so that you can actually lift heavier things. So there you go, I'm trying to lift any of that stuff that won't come out. I think there's an avionics in there. A few other bits and pieces, I'm not sure exactly what they are. There are a couple of other sections of the Gladius where you can take the coolers from, and you can take the generator from as well. And there's a case of, you know, kind of knowing where they are on the ships and also just exploring. Stuff seems pretty obvious. It's, you know, well signposted. So yeah, there's a spot here for a cooler. This is cooling unit 2. So just open that up and we can pull out the cooling unit. And just keep on looking around, seeing if I can find anything worth trying to take. You can see the spot for the other cooling unit just up to the top left there. This here is the access to a couple of bits and pieces. The generator there is the only part of those that you can actually pull out. The others are too heavy. As you can see, they're too heavy and too heavy. Eventually they'll introduce those new tractor beam heads, and you'll be able to pull that stuff out a lot easier. I'm hoping eventually one day just be able to completely strip a ship, take all the components, you know, maybe have a mate who has a vulture. They come in, they take all the RMC from the hull, and then they crunch up all the other bits and pieces, and everyone makes off like a bit of a bandit. They're just lining up here to put the components into the ship. Thing to point out, I get a bit lost, is that, where's that damn ship gone? ideas go? Completely lost it. Oh, there it is. What was I saying? Yes, the components, ship components do not snap to the grid. I don't know if there's plans to do that in the future. I haven't heard. So it can get a bit messy in there. And missiles can actually clip out of the bottom of the ship. So yeah, we're just getting all the bits and pieces all together, putting them all into the ship. I'm going to go and sell them. Yeah, I probably won't subject you guys to all of this. I will see you at Port Olisar when I have everything on board ready to sell. Okay, here we are, Port Olisar. Had some issues here. Requested landing permission several times from the ATC. ATC just stopped responding to me. Gave me a zone once, went to land there, and it tried to impound me. So I'm just going to land, hopefully get to my ship in time, and sell the stuff. Spoiler alert, doesn't work. Yeah, it turns out if your ship gets stowed, everything disappears, which is what I'm about to find out shortly. Very frustrating, having just spent better part of an hour trying to get this to work. So yeah, I'll try and rush in, but yeah, I'm not going to make it in time. This is something I think needs to be fixed. You should be able to stow your ship with this stuff in it and bring it back out again. And I think that's something to do with the cargo grid and it not attaching to the cargo grid. So hopefully once they implement that, that should fix the issue. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Little bit of a failure, but hey, you guys got to see the salvage gameplay. You got to see how it worked. So hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Oh, one last thing, obviously, if you think I've done a good enough job, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you next time.